You've been lied to about how life works. Every productivity guru, self-help book, and motivational speaker has convinced you that success requires complex systems, perfect habits, and flawless execution. But what if I told you that life is actually ridiculously simple? And the only reason it feels complicated is because simple truths don't sell courses. I'm about to break down exactly how life actually works versus how you think it works. And once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Here's life's biggest joke. The more you try to control everything, the less control you actually have. It's perfectly ironic when you think about it, especially in your 20s, when you're trying to plan your entire future. You schedule every minute, organize every detail, try to predict every outcome, and then life just throws you a curveball anyway. Sound familiar? We're all control freaks in denial, thinking we can micromanage our way to success. Here's what's really happening. Control is like trying to hold water. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. The Stoics figured this out thousands of years ago. You can only control two things, your actions and your reactions. Everything else belongs to life's department. I learned this the hard way, building my freelance business. I'd craft perfect pitch emails, plan exactly how conversations would go, trying to control every variable. Then I'd get frustrated when things didn't follow my script. The breakthrough came when I realized I needed to focus on my circle of influence and ignore my circle of concern. Can you control traffic? No. Can you control when you leave? Absolutely. Can you control other people's opinions? No. Can you control being someone worth respecting? 100%. Stop trying to be life's CEO. You're more like a surfer. Master the ride, not the ocean. My friend, here's why you can't catch happiness. It's the only goal that runs away when you chase it directly. Happiness is like trying to catch your own shadow. The faster you run toward it, the faster it moves away. We've all fallen into this trap. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I find the right relationship. I'll be happy when I finally have my life figured out. But neuroscience reveals something fascinating about how happiness actually works. Your brain has a happiness set point. Win the lottery, you'll be back to baseline in 6 months. Experience a major setback, same thing, back to baseline in 6 months. It's called the hedonic treadmill, and it explains why chasing external things for happiness is a losing game. Let me tell you, happiness isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a byproduct of living well. It comes from making progress, not achieving perfection. From building genuine connections, not accumulating stuff. From contributing something meaningful, not just taking what you can get. When I was struggling to build my business, I kept thinking, I'll be happy when I hit $5,000 per month. Then it was $10,000. Each milestone moved the goalpost because I was chasing happiness directly instead of focusing on doing good work and helping people. The solution is counterintuitive. Stop chasing happiness directly. Focus on meaning, growth, and contribution instead. Do things that matter to you, and happiness shows up uninvited. The biggest paradox? The less you need happiness, the more it appears. I'm about to reveal the most counterintuitive truth about effort and success. But first you need to understand how your brain is secretly sabotaging your decision-making every single day. Because your brain isn't the objective truth-seeking machine you think it is. It's a pattern-matching system with delusions of accuracy. Right now, your brain is running dozens of cognitive biases that are quietly editing your reality without you knowing it. Confirmation bias makes you cherry-pick evidence that supports what you already believe. The halo effect makes you think attractive people are automatically smarter. Loss aversion makes you fear losing $100 way more than you enjoy gaining $100. You're walking around with reality filters you don't even know exist. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You judge other people by their actions, but you judge yourself by your intentions. You remember your successes clearly, but conveniently forget your failures. You think you're above average at almost everything, which is statistically impossible. It's called illusory superiority, and yes, you have it too. Even knowing about this bias doesn't make you immune. That's how deep these patterns run. You can't turn these biases off because they're hardwired survival mechanisms, but you can recognize them. Awareness becomes your superpower. Next time you're absolutely certain about something, pause and ask, which bias might be talking right now? Your brain constantly edits reality to match your existing beliefs. At least now you know the filter exists. My friend, I'm curious about your experience with this. Can you think of a time when you were absolutely certain about something, only to realize later you were completely wrong? What bias do you think was running the show? Share it in the comments. Sometimes admitting our blind spots helps others recognize theirs. Let me tell you another truth. The harder you try at certain things, the more they slip away from you. This isn't about giving up. It's about understanding how effort actually works. Sleep is the perfect example. Ever tried to force yourself to fall asleep when you're stressed? The harder you try, the more awake you become. Happiness works the same way. Chase it and it runs. Try to make someone like you by being overly eager and watch them pull away. It's called the backwards law. The more desperately you want something, the more it seems to avoid you. I see this pattern everywhere now. When I was desperately trying to land my first clients, I was needy and pushy, and people could sense it. The moment I relaxed and focused on genuinely helping instead of desperately needing their business, clients started coming naturally. Stressed people repel peace. Desperate people repel opportunities. Needy people repel relationships. We all know this on some level. Every athlete knows you perform worse when you overthink. Every creative person knows forcing inspiration kills it. Yet what do? We try harder. The solution is effort without attachment, action without desperation. Do the work, but don't death grip the outcome. Life rewards the relaxed, not the lazy. There's a big difference between the two. Here's something that took me years to understand. You become exactly like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Not eventually. You're becoming like them right now, absorbing their habits, attitudes, and beliefs without even realizing it. This isn't some motivational platitude, it's neuroscience. Your brain has mirror neurons that automatically copy the behaviors and emotions of people around you. You literally can't help but mirror the energy and mindset of your social circle. Look at your closest friends right now. Are they ambitious or complacent? Do they complain constantly or focus on solutions? Are they growing or staying stuck? Because whatever they are, you're unconsciously becoming. This was a harsh reality check for me. I realized some of my closest college friends were actually holding me back. Not intentionally, they were good people, but they were comfortable with mediocrity, and that comfort was contagious. They'd make subtle comments about my business goals, question why I was working weekends, and slowly pull me back toward their level. The solution isn't to abandon everyone, but to be intentional about who gets your time and energy. Seek out people who are where you want to be. Join communities aligned with your goals. Limit time with energy drains. Even if they're nice people, your social environment is either lifting you up or pulling you down. There's no neutral. Choose wisely. If you're finding value in these insights about how your mind and environment actually shape your reality, I dive much deeper into topics like this in my weekly newsletter. I share research I'm discovering, experiments I'm running, and frameworks that actually work in practice. You can find the link in the description if you want these insights delivered directly to your inbox. A quick pause to thank today's sponsor, because support like this is what makes videos like this possible. And if you're into growth and learning, you'll love this one. It's called Brilliant, and it's an interactive learning app that helps you think better and solve problems more effectively. With thousands of visual, hands-on lessons in everything from math and science to programming and AI, you'll actually learn by doing, not just by memorizing. One of the things I love about Brilliant is how easy it makes building a daily learning habit. Even if you've only got 10 minutes, you can keep progressing, stay consistent, and see your knowledge stack up over time. So if you're ready to make learning part of your everyday life, Brilliant is the perfect place to start. Head over to brilliant.org/mindflow or just scan the QR code on screen. You can start for free, and you guys also get 20% off premium for unlimited access. While you sleep, your brain runs a literal cleaning crew, like janitors working the night shift, except they're cleaning your thoughts. Scientists discovered that your brain has its own waste removal system that only operates during deep sleep. Cerebrospinal fluid, no idea how to spell that actually, but anyways, this fluid washes through your brain tissue, clearing out metabolic toxins that build up during the day. It's like running a dishwasher for your mind. Here's the wild part. Your brain physically shrinks during sleep to create more space for this cleaning process. Your brain weighs about 3 pounds, is 60% fat, and burns 20% of your daily calories just from thinking. We're walking supercomputers that need nightly maintenance to function properly. One night of poor sleep leaves metabolic waste in your brain, like trying to work in a cluttered office. This is why you can't think clearly when you're sleep deprived. It's not just fatigue, your brain is literally dirty. The cleaning crew didn't finish their job. Scientists are still discovering how this nightly reset affects memory, creativity, and decision-making. Your brain has a janitorial staff you never knew about, and they only work the night shift. Respect their schedule. Brace yourself. 90% of your decisions are emotional, and only 10% are logical. Your rational mind isn't driving. It's just narrating the trip after the fact. Think you chose your career logically? Probably not. You felt drawn to something. Then your logical brain came up with rational reasons why it made sense. That gut feeling about someone when you first meet them? That's your emotional brain processing millions of microsignals faster than consciousness can keep up. Let me tell you, your emotions are smarter than your thoughts in many ways. The science is fascinating. Your emotional brain processes information 500,000 times faster than your logical brain. By the time you think about something, your emotions have already decided and started pushing you in a direction. This isn't bad news, it's great news once you understand how to work with it. Your emotions are data, not directives. They're giving you information about your environment and values, but you still choose what to do with that information. That pause between feeling something and acting on it, that's where your actual power lives. Most people skip this pause and wonder why their life feels out of control. Speaking of things that feel out of control, I'm about to explain why your memories are basically fiction. But there's one more principle about life that most people completely miss. Your memories aren't recordings like you think. They're more like Wikipedia pages that anyone can edit, and the main editor is you. Every time you remember something, you literally change it. The act of remembering makes memories malleable. Your brain fills gaps with current knowledge, modifies details based on new experiences, and sometimes invents things that feel completely real. You're not remembering the actual event. You're remembering the last time you remembered it, plus all the edits you've made along the way. Scientists have proven this repeatedly. They can implant false memories so vivid that people will swear they're real. That confident story you tell about your childhood, probably 40% fiction. That clear memory of how something happened, partially manufactured. This might sound disturbing, but here's the opportunity. If memories are malleable anyway, you can rewrite your story consciously, not by lying to yourself, but by choosing which parts of your experiences to emphasize and focus on. You're already editing your past whether you realize it or not. The question is whether you're doing it intentionally or letting it happen randomly. Since you're the editor either way, you might as well edit consciously. I've said that many times before. 20% of what you do creates 80% of your results. Everything else is expensive noise that keeps you busy without moving you forward. This principle shows up everywhere once you start looking for it. 20% of your relationships bring 80% of your joy. 20% of your daily tasks produce 80% of your actual value. 20% of your habits create 80% of either your problems or your progress. In your phone, you probably use 20% of your apps, 80% of the time. Life isn't fair in the traditional sense. It's exponential. Small differences in input create massive differences in output. This is why identifying your vital 20% and doubling down is so powerful. Which activities actually move the needle? Which relationships genuinely energize you? Which habits create the biggest positive impact? Stop trying to optimize the 80% that barely matters. The brutal truth is most of what you do daily is waste motion, but that means you can cut 80% of your efforts and barely notice a difference in results. Meanwhile, if you identify and focus on your vital 20%, you can dramatically improve your life without working harder. You don't have bad habits. You have perfectly functioning loops with terrible rewards. Every habit follows the same pattern: cue, routine, reward. Feeling stressed, that's your cue. Check social media for 20 minutes, that's your routine. Get a temporary dopamine hit, that's your reward. Your brain doesn't care whether habits help or hurt you long term. It just runs the established program. Here's the key insight: you can't delete habits. The neural pathways are permanent highways in your brain. But you can change the routine while keeping the same cue and reward. Feeling stressed? Do push-ups instead of scrolling. Same stress relief, better long-term outcome. The cue stays the same, the reward stays the same, but you've upgraded the routine to something that serves you. The average person runs 40% of their day on autopilot through habit loops. Design your loops consciously, and autopilot becomes your ally instead of your enemy. My friend, 1% daily improvement equals 3,778% yearly improvement. Tiny choices create massive destinies over time. Think 1% is insignificant? If you get just 1% better every day, you're 37 times better after 1 year. But it works in reverse too. 1% worse daily leaves you at about 3% of where you started. Success isn't a sprint, it's compound interest for your life. We overestimate what we can accomplish in a day and underestimate what we can accomplish in a year. Read 10 pages daily, that's 12 books per year. Save $5 daily, that's nearly $2,000 plus interest. Exercise 15 minutes daily, that's a completely transformed body. Small choices seem meaningless until they suddenly aren't. The secret isn't motivation or willpower. Those run out. The secret is understanding the math and building systems that work automatically. Focus on systems, not goals. 1 healthy meal today, 1 page read, 1 push-up. The compound effect handles the rest. Life isn't about finding yourself like some hidden treasure. It's about creating yourself, choice by choice, habit by habit, day by day. You're not discovering some predetermined destiny. You're building it with daily decisions. The ultimate life framework has 3 parts. Accept what you can't control, almost everything. Master what you can control, your actions and reactions. And compound tiny improvements daily without getting attached to immediate results. Your 20s are when you set the foundation for everything that comes after. Every principle we've covered becomes easier to implement now than it will be in 5 or 10 years when you have more responsibilities and established patterns. If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life. Start now.